welcome back to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, That Metro Mania. And today we have the second to last of the movie Rangers finally releasing. Pink hasn't released yet, but I feel like it's soon. But we do have Yellow Sabertooth. And just like all of the other ones, the box is the exact same. A vague outline of what the Rangers should look like with the normal silvery, like gunmetal gray kind of look for Yellow Sabertooth. There's really nothing special to say about these boxes at this point. This is the 6th time we've seen them, if we're including the Ninja Ranger, which I am. So there's not much to talk about. Lightning, Yellow Sabertooth. We don't care anymore. What we want to see is the figure, because we are almost done with this movie line. So why don't we get her out of here and talk about, the first female Ranger to release of this movie line. So here she is, the Yellow Sabertooth / Bear Ranger from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. And the female Ranger design is a bit weird compared to the male Ranger design. I'll talk about that a bit more on what I'm noticing. But there's definitely there's some obvious differences, and there's some weird, design choice differences that I'm not quite sure why they went with, but, I bought it. I bought it because it's not really the designer of the figure's fault. It's more the designer of the movie's fault. Can't blame Toy Battalion on this one. They did a pretty good job of translating what they saw in that, we'll call it a movie. In that movie, to 6-scale form. Anyway, why don't we get her off the spinning turntable of doom here and take a closer look at the Yellow Ranger. So, just like every other Ranger from this movie, other than the blue, who gets a small little special accessory, and white, who actually gets the weapon he uses in the show, she comes with a gun of her flavor and color. And I hate these things. I think they look rancid. They don't really feel very Mighty Morphin Power Rangers-y, and I'm just sick of seeing them. You can, whatever, I don't even care anymore. Those guns aren't my favorite. I don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they're held by the hands. I mean, this doesn't even look like it should be held by a hand normally. How do you hold that? It's just weird. Don't like it. Don't care. So here we have the Yellow Ranger. And I want to start off by saying, I don't know if this is the right shade of yellow. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the exact shade of yellow as the original Mighty Morphin, which is a darker tone of yellow. But I feel like this is still too bright. It kind of looks like, it looks a little bit better on camera, but it kind of has like a yellow, like a banana Laffy Taffy color to it, when I should feel like it's a little bit more like a darker, like a lemon. And I'm not quite sure why that is, but it definitely feels a little too bright of a yellow. Like if this was like GTA 5 and you were choosing your car color, it would be like 2 more down from this. But other than the weird yellow, the helmet is actually quite nice. It's got this nice saber-tooth design to it, which, just like the original one, does have some definition to it. The ears are quite big, but what it lacks is the black lines on the helmet, like the Mighty Morphin has, to kind of define all of that stuff. You're just left to interpret its definition by visuals alone, and not like the definition. But it's got more angry lines, like here. It's not as rounded as the original one. It's rounded in the back, more or less. You can see the split line where the helmet actually opens. But it has some aggressive lining, but it doesn't have like black to define that aggressive lining like the original one does. The eyes actually have like a sharper point to them, whereas in the original they're a bit more rounded off, and the nose is way more pentagonal. Like this nose on the original one is a bit smaller. It's more flat. This one has a lot more like wideness to it. It's like bigger and wider. The visor isn't too bad actually on this one. Just like on the original one, it is broken up by the teeth. This one does have a bit more on the sides here. The helmet's a bit more squarular at the front. And you can see those succulent Ranger lips, just like always. This one's got more of a, it's similar. It's got that half circle shape, but it's got more of an indent here on the chin, which is weird. But what can you do, man? I didn't design it. Neither did they. So here's some weirdness to it. Obviously, we have our power coin here on the chest, which is the lovely Sabertooth tiger. But the way the diamond is designed is really weird, where it's kind of enclosed by the chest area of our female protagonist here. I really don't like that. I think it's stupid, and it breaks more definition where it shouldn't. But it is different than the other ones, because the other ones do have just like straight up diamond with like pectorals, and it goes over. This one has more of a diamond design that's actually built, and it goes down over. Like here on the side, you can see there's like around and then down and then around. So it doesn't like go on the armor. It is built, the diamond is built into the armor. However, that means there's no way they could screw up the white and off-center it. So that's a good sign. Don't like it. I don't like the way that the chest area is built into the diamond area. But other than that, the chest is fairly similar. It's got these overhead like rubbery straps here, which lead to the shoulder armor, which is smaller. I guess women have less need for armor. It doesn't have any bicep pieces here. It just has the shoulder bit, which again, the female Rangers just get shafted, it would seem. But you can see here on the Red Ranger, it's got bicep armor and shoulder armor. This just has the shoulder armor, but it does have the arm scrunch up, which I'm going to call it, leading down to what normally, with the normal chest here, this is all the same. The morpher is the same color as the suit, which I'm still not a fan of. Gauntlet pieces here, which are the same. It's got this like oval shape, and then the diamonds, which don't really connect, even though in the movie I believe they are a bit more connected. Here we have some weirdness as well, where it's kind of got like this this look to it. In the male, you can see here, it's a bit tighter, it's a bit smaller. This is way wider. I don't know what it is, but it makes for this like really weird like back end like diaper feeling. Like this one is similar, but this is just like the whole backside is covered like that, and it looks horrendous. I don't know how this got through like levels of pre-production and design, but this is just bad design overall. So whoever designed that, you're fired. The back here does have the 2 diamonds, just like the originals. Has the line going through the middle. Looks good. It's nice. But again, bleh. But pretty much from there, it's fairly the same, except for, again, only front thigh armor. The guys do get back thigh armor as well. The knees are the same, though. And then we have this bit right here, yellow on the feet, and these diamonds that sits in a spot that I don't like. So, all in all, the Yellow Ranger does have some design choices that some might not find the best, but it is design choices that were made back in the 90s, so who really knows what was going on in their minds when they did it. Anyway, why don't we bring out the whole lineup of movie Rangers so we could see how tall or short she is compared to the lot of them. So our friend the Yellow Ranger here is a lot shorter than the guys here, which is fairly accurate. She was shorter than them considerably, just in the movie alone, when they had their helmets off and the armor on. I don't know if it's like that in actuality, or they just boosted the guys' heights to make them look a lot more taller and menacing. But either way, She's short. She was short in the movie, so this does make sense. She is considerably smaller. My God, I was not prepared for that. They do look good together. I think they'll look really good when the weird helmeted Pink Ranger finally shows up, and I can have the whole lot. But for now, we do have 1 out of 2. Now we just need 2 out of 2 to show up. Again, hopefully it's soon, but we'll have to wait and see, because you really never know with Toys Battalion. Maybe they'll release her and her ninja version at the same time. Again, hoping we get ninja versions of all of them at some point. But for now, I'll take white and I'll take pink. So why don't we bust out our original Yellow Ranger to see the night and day difference between the two of these ones. So unlike when it comes to the Guy Rangers, these two definitely have a slight height difference. The regular Mighty Morphin definitely towers over the Mighty Morphin movie version, which does have a lot to do with original actors and how characters are portrayed in shows, and how this one is more just actually the actor and not like the Super Sentai footage. So I will give them a pass on that. But man, it is nice to see that darker yellow on the 3.0 version as opposed to that lighter yellow on the movie version, which just, again, it looks really weird. It's really bright and it stands out a lot more. And I don't think, from all the images I've seen, it doesn't really look this yellow in the movie, at least in my opinion. So I'm not quite sure how it happened like this, but it did happen like this. So somewhere somebody saw the wrong color and went with it. Anyway, why don't we finally get around to articulation and see if this articulates a little bit better than the guys or a little bit worse. If you guys have ever smelt a swamp, that's kind of what this figure smells like. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it has a very swamp smell to it. But anyway, it does have a normal life ending 360 degrees with an up that far and a down that far. Big head, very big head. Arm goes up that far, and back that far. You get a Hot Toys female character 90-degree bent elbow bend. You do get a bit of crunch action, not much. Then alright spread. An alright spread that automatically fixes itself immediately. Leg goes up that far. Leg goes back a little bit. Decent knee bend and free articulation at the ankle. So you can do enough with it. You can get some action poses out of it. Just don't expect her to spread for too long. Why don't we kick it to the end of the video, shall we then? So our Yellow Ranger here is a nice addition to the collection. Again, some weird things going on, mainly movie suit design stuff, but I feel like, again, this weird kind of lighter shade of yellow is really not doing it for me. I'm not sure if I'm crazy or if it really is just the wrong shade of yellow here, but it just, something feels off about it. And I'll one day figure out why. But for now, I'm happy to say that I do have another movie Ranger in my collection, because we are almost done. We have one to go. Finally. And like I said, it's been a very quick turnaround for most of these Rangers, which is super exciting to see. So I don't know what's taking 3.0 so long, because I feel like for whatever reason they are holding me back from having an extra full Power Rangers collection here. Because originally, they were the only ones with Rangers on the collection scale. But now that there's competition, they should really be stepping up. They really need to step up to the plate. So let's hope that happens soon. If you've picked up this one or any of the other movie ones, feel free to let me know which ones you've picked up, which ones you might be planning to pick up. If you've been debating on picking any of these up and you've watched any of my videos and it's helped you make a decision, I'd love to hear which ones, or if I helped you make a decision one way or the other. Because obviously my job is to help you at the end of the day make a decision on what you want to get and what you want to do and what you want to be and how many Rangers you feel like having in your collection. Because I know the answer to mine would be yes. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe, because the channel has been doing lovely recently, and as the #1 Power Rangers 6-scale reviewer of all time, I would love to continue providing you with as much Power Rangers content as I possibly can, because the well's about to run dry for a little bit, and I'm going to have to make stuff that isn't Power Rangers, which is a shame, but we'll figure it out. You know, we got plenty of 6-scale stuff to talk about. Just a shame all of my Power Rangers well is about to dry up for now, at least. In the future, we'll have plenty more, don't you worry. And with all of that out of the way, I've been me, and you've been you, and thank you for watching another 6-scale figure review. Hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.